My Love of Life Energy is a podcast created by Anna Scott. Anna knows that every human being sees life uniquely. In this podcast, she will talk to people and learn from them. These conversations are to shine the brilliance of each human being she speaks to. Join her. After each exploration, you will expand on your insights and see truth and beauty.
There we go. Welcome. I am I'm always laughing because I love talking to people and love sharing what people see, what their expertise is, and what they love in life. And today I have the great fortune, Jasmyne, but I know I'm not speaking your name because it's French and I got self-conscious about it. So pronounce your name correctly.
That's okay. My name is Jasmyne DesBiens.
DesBiens, French in Quebec, Montreal, right? You're in Montreal?
Yes.
So Jasmyne,
It's a suburb. I live in Laval.
We met in Supercoach, and Supercoach is a Michael Neal program, and it's a 3 principles based program. And since I've known Jasmyne, I've watched her transform. I've watched you, this is my experience of you, is you've become a much more grounded, confident, powerful soul that just is brighter and brighter and brighter. It seems like every time I talk to you, your brightness level gets raised. And I would really love to talk and explore with you, like what you've seen with the 3 principles and how it's impacted you.
Wow, you have a 30-minute podcast. I mean, this is how are you going to do this? I've seen so much, so much. I mean, my understanding of the 3 principles began prior to Supercoach Academy. I'd already been taking Michael's classes, since 2011, I think. So
wow.
I already had, I had a lot of understanding of the 3 principles, and I understood thoughts, and I mean, for me, it was really the thought thing, understanding that I'm not my thoughts, that I can actually see thought. That was like mind blowing for me to get that. It's not the truth. And, I don't like saying it's not the truth, but that's how it lives for me. It lives like the thought that I'm having right now is not the truth. It's just a thought that's passing, that I can see.
Wow.
And I lived with that like for a long time. But when I did Supercoach Academy, what I saw that really was a game changer was that judgment is a thought.
Oh, wow. When I laugh like this is I hear the truth. And I've heard you say that, but I just felt it. It's just another kind of thought. It's still a thought.
Yeah. And the seeing of that, because I have thought habit of judging myself constantly. And I'd been doing it for so long. And it was just the truth. That's how it was. And the impact of seeing that was huge. Like, I mean, when you're judging yourself constantly, every word you say, every movement you say, every, bad hair day. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, there it is again.
Wow.
Just give me freedom.
That's what it feels like. It feels like the image that's coming up in my mind is a straitjacket was pulled off. Like the judgment becomes a straitjacket and you freed yourself from it.
Well, you know, we talked last week. We started working on your setup of your podcast, and you said the word expand. And that's how it feels. Like basically, there's an expansion that happens to me. Like I just expanded because the judgment was so heavy and so constrictive, right? Like I was keeping myself small. Like I can't show, if all of the judgments that I'm telling myself, I can't, if those are real, I can't show that to anybody. I gotta keep myself small.
Oh, it's like we want to hide the judgments that we think are real.
Yeah.
But you really saw it. And that's, can you, you know, the difference between like, you know, you've read the self-help books and you know that judgments are just thoughts or like that, you know, you shouldn't do them, blah, blah, blah. But then you see something and that's different. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like you've got the idea, like I can pass the test, but I haven't really seen it. Does that make sense?
I'm going to tell you what's coming up as you're speaking. What's coming up is positive thinking. I had an insight on positive thinking because, like you said, I was, you know, it was all about the thinking for me, right? It was all about the thoughts. And I was like, okay, well, I'm having bad thoughts. Let me find good thoughts, right? So I kept looking for good thoughts. So all the techniques, you know, the affirmations, okay, well, if you're thinking this, if you're thinking you're bad, then replace your bad by your good.
Yeah.
Right. So I would do that, right? But I became tired and I became also disillusioned because in order for me to keep telling myself that I was good, I had to remember that I was bad.
Oh God. I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
So this, I'm telling you, this is for good, bad, but I wasn't just doing it for good, bad. I was doing it for pathetic, not pathetic. I was doing it for fat, not fat. I was doing it for lovable, not lovable. You understand? I was doing it for everything.
Yeah.
I was exhausted. I mean, my brain was just so tired.
Wow.
Now it's just like, how am I feeling right now? I'm feeling peaceful right now.
Oh God. I mean, just what you're saying. It's like what I just felt. God, I'm trying to get the words because it just impacted me. Is the mental gymnastics that we do when we have one thought and then we try to find the contradictory thought or the opposite thought, the exhaustion of that. And what I felt is like your whole system just quieted down. There's nothing to do anymore except just be.
No.
Is that what it's like?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, how's it going right now? And sometimes it's like, I'm annoyed. And I'm like, but why are you annoyed? You live alone, Jasmine. What's going on? You know, like, you know, and then I can actually listen for what it is. I could just be annoyed because I'm resisting what's going on in the moment. And that's it. Oh, I'm resisting. Okay. Then there's nothing to do. Like it's just to see. I'm just seeing. I'm resisting right now. Stop resisting. And everything will be fine. You muted yourself. Anna,
Right,
you muted yourself.
my dog was barking ferociously, so I thought I what you just said is like I can just become present and notice what's up. Yeah, I can notice I can notice my dog barking and I'm irritated, and all of a sudden I got self-conscious because of a podcast. I can just notice that. And rather than trying to fix it, because it'll all change. It did.
Yeah, it takes us away. It takes us away from the moment, right?
I wonder why. When did the moment get? I mean, like I'm like. Jasmyne, there's something you just said. God, I want to cry. Like how precious the moment is. Like just how beautiful. Like I wonder why the moment got the bad rap.
I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean, like the moment got the bad rap? Tell me more about that. What do you mean?
Well, it's really interesting is that I can feel the quietness of this moment. Oh, I guess that's it, is that I think I can understand it. Then I started to feel all the really become present to all the variations in how I'm feeling. Like the micro changes. In some moments, I would call that insecurity or nervousness, or like I could just feel it all. But when I become present to that, then the next layer is it gets even quieter. Oh, wow. And then I just notice what I notice, but then it's like I get quieter and notice what I notice.
Have you noticed your dog is quieter too?
Yeah. Yeah. Were you on the call when we had the 3 people with dogs? Was it the 3 of us? We were on a session together and our dogs all quieted down.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, sure it was you. God. But yeah. Now that's interesting. Say more about that.
It's not about the words, like even right before, I said something. I pointed and I used words, but it really wasn't about the words, right? It was about that space. It's about the space. They don't have words, pets. They just feel the space.
My teacher would say it's the energy or the field. In this work, they talk about it, the feeling, the coming from the feeling.
I was talking with someone the other day and she was telling me, and it like she said these words and it just blew my mind. And she was like, when you get an insight, don't put words to it right away. Just be with it. Let it expand and just get to know it.
God, I love to run to words.
Mm.
I love but what you're pointing to is that spacious, open, expansive feeling.
Yeah. And we're used to putting words to stuff. Like this, what we do, right? We're humans. We put meanings, we put labels. Well, that must mean this, that must mean that. But in this conversation, what's really cool is that we get to touch this space of calm.
Yeah.
And then we touch it and we get all excited and we're like, let me tell you what I just saw. Right?
I feel like I just was busted.
I mean, I do it too. I mean, the other day I was like, something happened and I was like so excited. And I was like, who should I call? Who could I call? You know, it was like, I wanted to call somebody. We want to share the excitement. But I really can see the value in just sitting in it now. Just,
Wow. I got to say, that's new for me.
Mm.
I mean, I'm humbled. Wow. I can feel the there you go. Hi, Cleo. Do you want to say hello to the world too and share your opinion? Your dog's looking at mine.
Yeah. She's like, huh?
Anna Scott and professional podcasts.
It's really cool. I get you totally, but what I'm seeing. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing. Like you and I are professional people.
Yeah.
And there's something that we have, like when there's something that doesn't align with what we think professionalism looks like, we get bothered. I'm the same. Why do you think she's always on me? Like the difference is my dog is small, your dog is big.
Yeah. There's something about your pointing, and I don't know, I'll have to expand what it means to just sit with an insight.
Mm-hmm. I play with it.
What I just felt for the first time, just right now, is it's like the insight has a life of its own. I could feel like it felt like an internal stretch machine, like my universe was being stretched.
Mm.
And if I allow it to happen, I could see where it would go. Like I might be able to witness it. And I think it will continually stretch. But it's kind of like watching something bloom and let it do its magic before I interrupt it. You know, it's kind of like letting a child see how far they can walk on their own before you come in and grab their hands and help them.
Beautiful.
That's what it feels like to me. Well, that was one really, really off the chart. Well, you've given me actually two. I feel like I'm having my own private coaching session. It's really funny. I'm curious. Hold on a second. I want to ask a real question. How do you love sharing this work? This understanding?
I love sharing this understanding, and it's getting deeper and deeper. I could tell you the past month has been like mind-blowing to me. And I love that I'm really seeing that everybody knows exactly what they need to do when their mind is settled.
Yeah.
And I feel uncomfortable sometimes just saying, okay, you're not settled. So I can only point you back to your being settled. Because as soon as you're going to be settled, you're going to be like, oh yeah, okay. You're going to know.
It's so true. I worked with a client and he was really struggling. He was really caught up in his head. In fact, several of them. And I said, can you settle? We were talking about settling. And it was so interesting what just happened. You know, my dog starts barking. Somebody comes to the door. My son comes in with his dog, starts barking. And I have this performance or this image. I became so unsettled and I could clearly see it and feel it. Like from 0 to 120 within a second.
And yet, how are you now?
As I become present, I can watch myself calming down. Like I can watch the speed dropping.
Mm.
I'm not there. I can still hear my dog and still Anna Scott trying to manage the situation.
Yeah.
But how perfect? Like, isn't that what we're up against in human beings? And what I'm seeing is it's like my image is more important than the quality of my experience. How I look.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Like I'm worried about how I look, how this comes across. Do I look? I can feel that now. But that's the booby prize.
Yeah.
Because I think if I get that good looking image and I look good, then I'll have this feeling. I don't think I realize how much I'm always working to look good, like at like that level, like it's unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big, you know, when I was talking to you about how exhausted I was, that was definitely one of the things that was getting me exhausted.
Wow. You know, you think you're going to come on a podcast I don't know what I thought, but it wasn't this. And what I've gotten from this is profound. I think that's why I love this conversation. So you can always see more.
Yeah, I'm amazed every time. I'm like, oh yeah, it's my thoughts. Like every time deeper. Just see it deeper.
It's interesting. I wouldn't have been aware that I was wanting to look good. Like I've made up a world. I know I'm not alone. Where if I look good, then I'll get love.
Mm.
Rather than just when I fall into the feeling, I have all the love. I have that.
Yeah. You feel it.
Yeah. Rather than the concept of it.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. 3 little letters. Wow. It's just wow.
I forget how like I can see. It's interesting. I did a podcast before this and love it, but I can feel the difference of the feeling when people don't understand this understanding, how different the feeling is. And I would love everybody to feel what I'm feeling right now.
I think that the more people listen, the more they see something or they see something for themselves, the more they're going to see. I mean, I didn't see it in January. I didn't, but I kept looking. I didn't see it the way that I'm seeing it. I keep looking in this direction and I keep seeing, you know, through my thinking.
Oh God. Wow. It strikes me. I know we're supposed to sit in our insights, but can I tell you what I just felt?
Of course.
Is for a second, your thinking got quiet, like it got put down so you could really see rather than seeing through it. It's like your thinking dropped for a moment and you saw clearly. Like I had dark glasses on and I thought that's what light looked like. And then I took them out and I really saw.
I have a girlfriend who's a writer and she helps me with my copy and my stuff on my website and stuff. Every time I write saw, I saw. She's like, no, we have to write something else. And I'm like, no, you're going to leave see because it's about seeing.
Yeah.
It's really seeing for yourself. It's an inside see. It's an inside see, but it's a seeing.
God, I'm so grateful that I'm talking to you right now. I feel so incredibly blessed.
Mm.
I just feel how you're going to really help people in life and really make a difference in people's lives.
Thanks. Thanks. Just call me, people. Let's chat.
Yeah. Okay. So how do they get a hold of you?
You can reach me on coachjasmyne.com. So Jasmyne is Jasmyne. So coachjasmyne.com. Or if you know theinspiress.com. I'm like self-proclaimed inspiress.
Oh, I love that. Well, all that will be also written on the notes, I'm sure, because you're helping me create that.
Yeah. We'll take care of all that.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough. What you've seen and your presence that you share it and impacts people, because I was just impacted.
Mm.
And it's not the words, it's the presence.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.